Welcome back to Design Bundles YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal. Today I have a super fun Glowforge project for you. So we actually have these 3D letters here, trying to make sure you guys can see it in the correct direction. And so they come in multiple layers. So you could do just one letter. Say, for example, your son's name is Max. You could either just do one big letter and have it that really cool 3D effect, or you could spell out Max. You could do all sorts of fun things. These would be perfect for that baby's birthday party, that fun little boy that wants that safari look. Lots of fun things to do here. Or maybe if it's for your home decor and you're going to cut out your last letter or gift it to somebody for their office desk, you name it. So what I did was I cut out the letter HI today for hi. So maybe you want to just put them on your desk there. You could do hello or welcome. Lots of fun things that you can do here. Now, you're going to notice that it's going to be super thick. We're going to glue these here in a minute with some wood glue. I actually use thick walnut. So this is the very first time I actually even used thicker materials, and it cut nicely. So I actually loaded 2 different pieces to cut all of these out. Now today I'm going to be demoing, showing you the light cherry, just using it inside of Glowforge because I didn't have another piece of walnut to show you, but it's going to be another thick material just to kind of give you guys an idea of how I organized it on the mat. So let's go ahead and jump on over to designbundles.net so I can show you what file I'm using. Jumping right over to designbundles.net, this is the file we're using. It comes with every single letter in the alphabet. Once again, you can cut these individual, just one letter at a time, or you can cut out an entire name if you wanted to, all sorts of things. You could definitely cut this out with cardstock if you wanted to as well. So if you want to do this with cardstock, you could use those foam adhesive squares to kind of really build that up as well. That's another option. Or if you want to use that thinner wood material for your Cricut Maker, you could also do that as well. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to show you just a few little examples here. As you can see, we've got a few little ideas just to kind of show you. We have the word love written out for you, all sorts of things. So I've already downloaded this. I have it ready to go. So let's go ahead and head on over to Glowforge. All right, so now that we're over here on Glowforge, we're going to get ready to cut out our design. So the very first thing you should do is turn on your machine and load your materials. Now, if you're using proof grade materials, it's going to have that QR code for you. So it's going to automatically set those settings for you. Now, that's not hard at all. If you want to simply mask your material, we have tutorials here on the channel showing you where we've masked materials. You're simply just going to hit that drop down and choose the recommended settings. So usually wherever you purchase your materials from, you're going to see those recommended settings. For those, you'd still simply just choose one of these and it would automatically set it. So we are ready to go. I've got thick cherry plywood already selected because once again, it is has that QR code. But once again, I did use thick walnuts. We're just giving an idea using thick materials. All right, here we go. So what we want to do is hit that plus sign. We're going to hit upload, and then I'm going to go to recent so I can find my file. So I've got both of these right here. I'm going to select them one at a time, bringing these in. So I'm going to go back and hit that plus again, and we're going to hit upload. I'm going to go to recent. I'm going to bring in that next one here. All right, so once this comes in, I will grab it and we'll scoot it down. So this is what I did was we are going to select all of these letters once again, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start to size those down. The first thing we can do is click on our ruler right down here at the bottom, and then we can adjust it right here. So say, for example, I just changed it to 14 inches right away just to bring it into my work surface. So what I ended up doing was 5.137 high on my letters. So we can go ahead and do that. So individually, I can click on each one of these and do that. So I could do, sorry, let me bring up my keyboard. All right, so what we can do, I'm going to grab my keyboard over here really quickly. What we can actually do is go down here and change that dimension to the height. So the height on each one of these letters is going to be that 5.137. And then we would hit enter. Now, to change, you see that I did that individually. The way to do this quickly is by columns. So if I select all of them like this, it's going to change the height of the two H's together, right? So if you select just this top layer, I could come over here to my height and I can put in that 5.137, enter. And then I can do the same thing for these ones. So I can come back, select these ones here and do the height on this. So you notice I'm doing more than one. So that one doesn't take a long time. 5.1 137, enter. Here we have it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to scooch these guys out of the way. So what I did was if you can fit all of your H's on there, definitely do so. But what I did was I did 3 and 3. So I'm going to bring 2 of these down here. I'm going to grab these 3 up here at the top. Let's scroll down here just a sec. And so I'm going to go ahead and start to line these up here. So kind of bring this one in here first. And so you want to make sure that you're getting that nice cut color. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down here. All right. There we have it. So we're going to bring in our first one. And all of these need to be changed to a cut file. Currently, they're all at engrave, and we want them to be cut. So we'll have to change all those in a second. So what I did was I brought these in as close as possible. So I just brought in my H's here. And because what you want to do is save as much material. So that way it only took me 2 sheets. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So depending if you were doing 1 letter, maybe it's going to take you 4 because you're going to do these things 10 inches high, whatever you want to do. All right, so we've got those ones there. Now I came into the eyes. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to select my top half here, and I'm going to change that height to that 5.137, enter. And then I'm going to bring these up here. All right, so what I did was the same thing. So I'm going to grab 3 of these at a time, pop these up here at the top. I'll need to adjust my measurements here in just a second. I could grab these 2 here and scoot them over. So it's nice when you can grab multiple at a time and really push those in there. So we've got these 2 pieces here, but as you can see, I need to kind of scoot everything over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these 2. I could select them both together, but I grabbed one. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up while I scoot all of these over. All right, so once we have all of our pieces on our first mat, so we're going to have 2 of these. Same thing. We're going to have 6 H's, 6 I's on the other one. So whenever we get ready to do the next layers, we're just going to select all of these, grab them, get them out of our way, and bring the next ones in. So you're going to have 2 different cuts. So what we need to do is go change all of these to cut files because right now they're set to engrave. So I'm just going to go over here and change each one of these to a cut file. So you're just going to click on them and then click on that cut. All right, so now that we have changed everything from an engraved to a cut, you can see that they went from blue because that was engraved to a red. So once your file is ready for a cut, it should be in red. And at that point, that may be the best time to go in there and space your letters. You have a little bit more wiggle room compared to when it was set at the engraved settings. So like I said, it should look something like this, and then we're ready to go. So at this point, you would go ahead and hit print. So it's going to go ahead and calculate really fastly how long this is going to take. All right, so as you can see for our first cut, we have 24 minutes and 27 seconds. And then once we're done, we'll come back here, get rid of these, and bring in the next letter. So all we got to do is head on over to the Glowforge and hit go. All right, so you can see how easy it is to load and cut these out, and you can see how quite thick these are. So what I've done is I've just layered these up to the way that they're going to go, so it would make it much easier to glue. So the way that these work is you're going to have a plain layer like this, right? So you're going to peel off all of your masking, and you're going to have plain layers that look just like this. And then you're going to have your design layer. So then you would have your design layer next. You would have a plain layer, so on and so forth. Now you can go back and refer to your images, and you're going to be able to see how these are going to line up. So I've got both of these lined up the way that they're going to go, and now I'm ready to glue them. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to actually flip mine over this way. I'm actually going to do it this way so everything stays together. So all I have to do is flip them over like this. So I've got my wood glue here. I'm using Gorilla wood glue. Please feel free to use your favorite wood glue. You can even use your hot glue gun for this. All sorts of different type of glues out there on the market. So I'm going to go ahead and just get some wood glue here. And then we're going to pop down our first layer. There we have it. Cute. Okay. And then we're going to keep on going. Like I said, we have a plain layer. Now, the plain layers, it doesn't matter. I call them plain. These are kind of like if we were doing our 3D paper crafts, this is going to be our foam dots, if you will. So this is going to give it that dimension. So we're just going to pop it on just like so. And if you need to, you can go ahead and kind of really make sure these are lined up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going here. So this is a really fun project, like I said, whether you're going to be making it for some home decor or you're going to be making it for that kiddo's birthday party or even for the baby's nursery, all sorts of fun things that you can do with these letters. Making this for a gift at somebody at the office would be really nice as well. Tons and tons of ideas. The next one down. And then keep on going. Now, like I said, I'm doing 2 letters here, and you can even just do the one. You can spell the kiddo's name out. Brittany, you guys see her down in the comments all the time. She had a good idea too. Number one, she came up with the name Max. But I only had enough material to cut out the word hi, honestly. But she had said too, like if you were doing like a gender reveal, maybe you could do like boy and girl to have. So if you were doing like a safari theme or something like that, this would be so gorgeous. Be really, really cool too. Now, another thing is you could turn these into light boxes. So you can actually put some fairy lights in here, create a back, and then just place some fairy lights inside would be really nice as well. So to me, the possibilities are endless with these things. And if you guys love a wood project, you guys are going to absolutely just go crazy and bonkers over this. I love it. And then if you don't, like I use thicker materials, you could definitely get away with using a smaller one. You could do this with MDF if you wanted to. You don't have to do something as thick as mine. But I really wanted these to look 3D. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on gluing these. Now you see my cat here, so I keep adding some glue on the back pieces of those. I don't need to. I just need to be gluing my borders right here. So I just got carried away. So you really just need your outside borders is all that you're needing. So if you can see my cute little cat here, she's chasing that butterfly there. So it's really, really cool. Now, if you wanted to, too, you could even paint these with different colors. So, for example, in some of our inspiration photos there on designbundles.net, you can see that they did it with different colors of wood. So you could do walnut, cherry, that light balsa, and really switch it up to make them different colors. You could paint those layers with the MDF if you wanted to. Like I said, the list goes on. So I'm going to go ahead and get this layer here, and then I'm going to speed up the process on that letter H. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just kind of wiping some of that glue off my sides here. Just using that baby wipe. And now this glue is going to dry down clear. Once again, all the materials that I'm using today are linked down below. All right, here we go. So as you can see, I know you guys can still see all my glue and stuff in there. I'm going to kind of move my hand so hopefully you can see all the way through there. Look at that 3D. Look at how thick this is compared to my hand. It's really, really thick. It almost goes across the entire width of my hand. Super cool. Once again, you can see all of that glue drying there. I need to set this aside so it can be safe, but hopefully you guys can see all of those really cool layers there. Once again, imagine some LED lights in there. It would be really cool as well. You could get a clear piece of acrylic for the back and the front cut out, and that way it completely covers, and then put those fairy lights in there. All right, so I'm going to set this guy aside, and then we're going to move on to the next. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this one, and we'll be right back. All right, so we are on our very last piece here. So once again, you're just going all the way around your edge pieces. All right, so now that we're starting to dry down, we still got a few pieces that need to continue to dry, but hopefully you guys can see how 3D this is. How stinking cool. Once again, you could put acrylic on the front and the back, put some LED lights in there would be amazing, or just simply putting these on your bookshelf. You could have these as end caps on your books. Such great ideas. I mean, you could put this in the office, like I said, on your desk, on a shelf, as a decor piece in your living space, in that baby's room. Lots and lots of different ideas. I hope you guys can see all of those layers and how cool that is, and see how thick this is. Super duper thick. Now, once again, because this is thick walnut, so you could have it just a little bit thinner if you would like. And then here's this one. Once again, you can pull these off with some cardstock using those foam squares, adhesive foam squares if you wanted to. You would just have those slats in between, but you would definitely still get that dimension for a shadow box if you wanted to do that. But you can see how that cat is trying to grab that butterfly. It is just so stinking cute. It's gorgeous. Like I said, I still got some adhesive needing to dry down, but I really wanted to show you guys. But you guys can see how thick that is on my hand there. So thick, so cool. And once again, you could put these with a piece of cherry wood, walnut, the light basswood to switch the colors up and have it in different layers. Would be gorgeous as well, or even painting them in colors. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you guys have, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next